Thank you very much. Great delivery as always. Our next speaker is someone that you previously heard before. Mr. Peter Shaw is the #1 influencer globally. Okay, he supports everyone. He is delivering his thoughts and views about this amazing opportunity. Peter, are you there? And Peter, can you please talk slow for the translators? Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, I couldn't unmute myself. Somebody was at the controls. The story of my life. Somebody had taken over my computer and I couldn't do anything. But no, thank you very much, Jay, for that very important update and amazing information, which gives everybody a lot of confidence, etc., etc. So basically, I just wanted to come back in here and just give you a little bit more information about how I see this business, and also from my perspective, working in the field, working with many of you guys to help and support you develop your business, etc., etc. And I'm talking a little bit slow here because I understand the translators are doing an amazing job, and thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And that's just the way it is. Everybody just chips in with this project to do whatever they can for the benefit of other people. And I just also like to say, as a collective, from Amplivo, the influencers, the supporters, the followers, how much we appreciate the work that corporate do, with Jay working tirelessly to put together these projects and do all the work that he has to do. I know that the guy just doesn't have enough hours in the day, and he sort of overcompensates by not sleeping. He thinks he can operate on 23 hours work a day, but sometimes he just needs to rest himself. And Frank is the same, amazing work ethic, and Stefan as well. So we really appreciate all the work that you guys do for us. And I know that I say that from my heart, and also from everybody in the field. So for the new people, looking today at this opportunity and just, wanting to become involved, I mean, there's many, many reasons. One, that you've got a great support structure, not just from the amazing leadership that's now developing, I feel, within the, the organization. And I take my hat off to Vittorio, who is just rising through the ranks, especially in a climate in his home country of Italy. And very sad, of course, what is happening there. But I mean, I just take, my hat off to that gentleman who, is just not, stopping. He's just moving forward and helping many, many others also to move forward. And also Jean-Luc in France, and Andrea, Salah, and Kenny just getting started. And that actually brings me to an important point that Kenny was mentioning there. He was in an industry, and many of us could relate to that, where you have a product that you're offering on the market that everybody wants. Who would argue that we don't need food supplements? Well, maybe if we have an amazing diet and we're getting nutrients from our food, then maybe we don't. But it's also very good to supplement. But nobody's buying. That was a strange thing. Everybody needs it, but they're not necessarily buying it. Because why? There's just so much choice. And that was an interesting reason for me, I felt, to begin with this opportunity, because nobody could argue for 1 second that what we are doing here is a worthy cause to help contribute to clean up the plastic waste that is affecting our planet. I'm just getting advice here to slow down. Roger as well. I'm sorry, the translators, I apologize for that. But no one could argue with the fact that we really need to do something about the plastic waste problem facing not just the environment, but also the health issues. And we highlight that in the beginning of our presentation. And even if we could just take, as some people have explained this in a very simplistic way before, just take a big magic box and put all that plastic into it and make it disappear forever, and that would be a good thing. I agree, it would. But would that be a sustainable business model? I don't think so. So I look at this from many different angles. One, what are our unique USPs, unique selling points from bringing this, amplifying our voice through the network to the world? That yes, everybody would agree with us that we need to do something about this immense problem. Now also, the fact that we're not just putting this plastic waste and all this horrible plastic into a box and it disappears. No, what's coming out the other side is the largest and most traded commodity on the planet, which is fuel. But not just any fuel. It has the terminology of advanced biofuel. And I'm just going to speak a little bit about this because, as I say, I look at this in different ways. I look at this from a perspective of a business. And if we're in business, then the number one rule in business is to get into profit as quick as you can, get your costs paid, get into profit, and make money and make it sustainable. Now, what is our environment here? Well, first of all, we have the ability to take plastic waste and turn it into this advanced biofuel. Now, when I first started looking at this, I was just on a huge learning curve, getting educated. What is advanced biofuel? Is there a market for advanced biofuel? So we can take all this plastic, convert it into advanced biofuel. Is that a big deal? Well, actually, it does work out to be a huge deal because advanced biofuel is a type of fuel that is basically like a crude oil. And that can then be taken and refined into the other products that are very needed on the market, like petroleum, diesel, and kerosene, and all these other things. Now, just to give you an idea of how efficient the oil that we're producing, the advanced biofuel, is when it's being produced by the Polypetron legacy units, as Jay was saying, and we talked earlier in the presentation, that we can take 6 million kilos and convert that into 3 million liters of fuel. So that's 50% we can take into fuel. That's a very high conversion. Now, then of course we can sell that fuel. But on the market, is there a demand for that fuel? If we're just producing something for the sake of producing it, we've got to establish, is there a demand? Well, this was something that I identified very early on. If you look at the world market where the oil is being sold, you have many different types of oil coming from Saudi Arabia, from the Gulf states, from Mexico. And the best quality of oil that's actually sold on the world market is coming from the North Sea. It's called Brent Light Sweet Crude. Now, I'm hopefully educating you guys like a little bit how I got educated. Now, when they take that crude oil that's coming from the North Sea, and then they refine it into the commercial products like the diesel, the gasoline, and the kerosene, they can convert approximately 60% of that crude oil into these commercially viable products that they need. The rest will go for asphalt and stuff like this that's not really giving them a lot of money. And that's the best. That is the best number one oil on the market. It's called Brent Light Sweet Crude coming from the North Sea. Now, the oil that is produced by converting plastic waste from the Polypetron legacy units, that oil, when it's converted into these other commercial products, we can actually convert up to 90%, I think it's 89 point something percent, into these other commercial products. So 60% versus 90%, which oil would you prefer to buy on the market? Obviously the 90% oil. So can we sell this oil? Absolutely, we can sell as much of it as we can produce. So that was one very strong argument. When I'm talking with business and talking to people in business, I always like to have arguments that are too powerful to ignore. So this for me was a very powerful argument, but not just stopping there. The market now for advanced biofuel as an additive to the fuel that they're selling at the gas stations and at the pump stations around Europe has now and is dramatically increasing, because the fuel, if they want to sell it, they have to add the advanced biofuel to it so they can actually sell it. It's actually EU legislation that's now coming in, and it's starting at an additive of 2%. So for every liter of fuel that they sell, every liter, 2% of that has to have an additive of the advanced biofuel. And that is increasing to 10% by 2030. Again, creating a huge demand. Now imagine how much fuel is sold in Europe alone. Amazing, just again, huge demand. So whatever we produce, we can sell. This was again key for me, but also in certain niches like the maritime industry where it's very low in sulfur, and with legislation coming in as well, all the fuel we produce, we could just sell into that market as well. So this is key for our business model, because we can profit from the sale of this fuel on the markets through the acquiring of the Sosnova token, through our activity and interaction and with the Ecovo platform, buying products and services, and also getting commissions. We get what we call free loyalty points, as I explained in the presentation, that then can be, if we so wish, converted into the token, which we can profit from the trading of this very valuable oil. So that for me was a huge motivation to get involved with this, because I could see a circular economy here where the plastic waste is not going to go away. People are still consuming plastic, and I know more people are becoming more conscious and using less plastic bags and stuff like this, but believe me, we ain't going to be stopping using plastic. And even if we did, even if we stopped using plastic tomorrow, what about all those landfills that are full of plastic from the last 30, 40 years? And just having visited some of these landfills in, for example, Thailand, and some of you have been there also and have seen films and slides of these places, where just on an average landfill, we would estimate where you may have approximately 500 million kilograms of plastic. That's a very low conservative estimate. And just taking that plastic and converting it into fuel, let's say it's a little bit, dirtier than the plastic coming in from the fresh plastic that's being dumped there, that would give a higher yield. But let's say, we're converting 30, 40, 50% of that plastic, 500 million kilo, 250 million, let's say 200 million liters of oil we could convert from that. That's 100 million in revenue if we're selling that oil at 50 cents a liter. Think about that. So these landfills are now just becoming a source of revenue. And this is where we are taking the first mover advantage. And this is what, Jay and the corporate have been working so hard to establish our presence on many of these sites, where we can lock down these landfills for the next 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. So we have a long-term sustainable business with not just the new plastic that's coming in, but also the plastic that's there, and start cleaning that mess up and doing something about this. So I do see a huge opportunity with that side of the business, which is key. And I'm very motivated and very pleased to see the developments now, as Jay was giving us those updates that are happening. And I know that Frank is also going to give us some updates also on some other new things that are coming. And this is how we are. It's like the Japanese principle of Kaizen, continual improvement, wanting to make things better. And that's what I see continually happening here since the first moment that I got involved with this, and where we are today. It's like a quantum leap. It's like we're in a completely different universe. And now with these projects that are being established, not just here in Thailand, but as Jay has elaborated, in different continents, Europe and also now in South America, that this is going to give credibility to what we are doing. And we are the pioneers. We are the people that are amplifying this message now into the world. And sometimes in the beginning, it is a little difficult when, you know, people, they say, look, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, you know what? You have to have it here in your mind first. You have to have the picture. You have to have the project here in your brain, in your mind first, before you can even begin to put it into the world. And I compliment especially Stefan with this vision and with this idea as to how we can move, you know, forward. He already sees the future, you know, with this. And we have to take over now, I feel, the responsibility for carrying this vision into the field, amplifying our voice in the world, especially with the media packages that will be coming very, very soon and will be elaborated maybe a little bit more, because this makes our job so much easier, professional marketing tools for us to do that. And so many of you are passionate beyond belief about this opportunity, and that's such a great thing. And that is a compliment to you as individuals and communities who want to do something good for this planet and make the planet a better place for us to live, and to leave it in a slightly better place for our children than what it is now, at least, and certainly not make it you know, any worse. So I don't really have that very much more to say. That's the key points that I wanted to talk about, and I, you know, just wanted to speak really for, you know, 10 minutes, you know, 12 minutes, you know, max, and just highlight these points, but just to bring and convey to you how I look at this. And I'm just going to finish off as well by saying that I think Jay hit this point very, very accurately when he said that in times of uncertainty, economic recession, whatever, home-based business is something that will become very popular and very interesting for many people to engage with. And right now, you know, we obviously have a situation that is a huge disadvantage, but with every disadvantage comes an advantage. There's always a flip side. And right now, people are staying at home. Many industries are being dramatically hit. Will those industries recover? I don't know. A lot of people in, obviously, the travel area are going to be affected by what's happening in the world right now. Many people in restaurants are going to be affected in what's happening in the world right now. So many people are going to be looking for a plan B. And I think that many people who thought they had a very secure job, a very secure future, would now question that. And it's always very smart to have multiple streams of income, to have more things going on. And I think more and more people, when we talk to them, that we have a business opportunity that you can get involved with and work from home, where it's safe, where you can connect with people all over the world. And we have an infrastructure of support. And myself and Roger are going to be hosting and doing an English-speaking call business opportunity meeting on a Thursday evening for the English-speaking communities around the world. And maybe also we do one for Asia at a slightly different time, but we'll update on that. And of course, in your different languages around the world, you will connect with your leadership in all the different countries and find out what is happening. And to support that, we will be doing fast start trainings and more elaborate trainings. So this is what is going to happen more and more over the next weeks and months. People are going to start developing from home a home-based business. We're on the call today. We were just counting up the number of people in all the different groups, and I think it's more than 750 to 800 people. So it just shows you the global reach that we have, and we're just getting started. So in that pioneer phase, we have the huge opportunity of being one of the first people talking about this, but also we have the disadvantage of being one of the first people talking about this as well. It depends how you look at it. Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? But I guarantee you that for the people who do get started, we will leave no stone unturned with our effort and our work ethic to support you. And we really want to develop this mission with this amazing community around the world. And so many of you, do see hope with this project, that we do have a better way. We can create a better way forward, work together, create a home-based business, a win-win situation for everyone, but also a win-win situation for this beautiful planet that we live in. So thank you very much for listening to me for the last, I don't know how many minutes. I'm going to hand back to you now in a moment, Roger. But I just want to say to every one of you beautiful people in all these windows here that you see, just stay safe and look after yourselves. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Thank you.